guys? Hey, welcome back. And wow, hey, Happy New Year. We haven't been here in a while. So I guess what better way to really dive into Voiceless Voice than touching on an article. And this one specifically is very great. It's a very great article if you really just want to understand what Voiceless Voice is. And also, if you go follow YGO, Respect YGO on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc., you'll be able to really understand Voiceless Voice if you're curious about it, if you still have questions about it. I do see some questions on Facebook about the archetype, what it is, what it do. So yeah, follow YGO, Respect YGO. There is a guide video that was just posted, I think maybe yesterday, from one of the partnered content creators, a great in-depth guide, step-by-step tutorial. So we won't do that tonight. We're not going to do that in Dueling After Dark. We're going to jump right in. I'm going to show you my deck, my build, and we're going to jump into some duels using one of the simulators. But first, let's touch on this article. It's good. The introduction, the Voiceless Voice, and I'm not going to read everything to you. I'm not Morgan Freeman. You don't want to hear me read these things to you. So I'll just kind of skim through it. But I encourage you to come through and check out this article. It's great. So the introduction, right? The Voiceless Voice, also known as the Shuisei or Shanketsai. I'm really tearing that up. So anyway, in the OCG, that is, right, related to your classic Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day. If you were like me, some of you guys without hair, some of you guys have some luscious locks, but anyway, old man. So the Skull Guardian and Novak's Prayer, which is that ritual magic card, was what it was called back in the day, spell card that allows you to bring out the Skull Guardian. Anyway, you have your Novak's Prayer, your Saphir, your Queen of Dragons, your Seravis, the Ancient and Ascended. So we have all of those in this archetype. So the theme is around the Light Warrior and the Dragon Ritual cards to bring out and support your Skull Guardian. So 7 new cards as they discuss here. Low, which I really wish they would have kept it as Novak's, but you know, we're getting low here. So right, our Strong Searcher in the deck, and it's not an Ash Magnet, which the article says here is true. It doesn't just draw in Ash Blossom, coming out, but it does have a gravitational pull and likes to pull in Effect Veiler, Infinite Impermanence, etc. People do like to negate that, and Herald, the Diviner, whatever her name is. But yeah, so it places any of your Voiceless Voice continuous spell or trap cards from your deck on the field, and I think that it's really important. The word place doesn't activate it right there, it places it. I think that with that verbiage in there, it allows for it to be a void. So it allows for it to elude those negates there, places right there on the field. And some of the great things about this archetype in this deck here is that it can work around draw. For instance, right, it doesn't bring that ritual to your hand, it places it on the field. It's so great. I love that part of it. So when Novak's and your Voiceless Voice continuous spell, which we'll touch on later on, is on the field, it makes your ritual and your light monsters untargetable, and then your Skull Guardian, while it's on the board with low, gives you your Omni Negate that touches right there. So your Omni Negate and targeting battle protection, right? So that battle protection, because they cannot target other monsters for an attack while your ritual monsters on the board with low, and I think with your spell. But yeah, it's fantastic. So by itself, it can treat itself as an entire material for a ritual summon of a Light Warrior, Dragon ritual monsters or monster. You can use just low, and you'll see that in some gameplay. Give your Saphir. Really all Saphir likes to do is be discarded into the graveyard, which it will then send your prayer ritual spell to the graveyard as well, and be able to ritual summon by activating it from the graveyard. So you're gonna banish this card in your graveyard to ritual summon a light or warrior dragon ritual monster from your hand by attributing necessary materials or just low alone. Phenomenal. At first glance, summon condition, and so now we're talking about Saravis, the Dragon Sage of the Voiceless Voice. At first glance, he does seem kind of bricky, but we're gonna go over. I personally like having this card and being able to utilize it. So at first glance, summoning condition is quite stiff, considering you have to return 2 spells, including 1 ritual spell from your hand or graveyard back to your deck. If you start with a combo with low and to Saphira, the Voiceless Voice, you would most likely end up with 1 spell in the grave, which is 1 you send with Saphira. So a lot of the combos I like to open up with is either, you have Nadir, you have Pod, you have sometimes you can even use Ultimate Slayer. There's a couple different things. Maybe you're using that the Dogmatic Matrix. Maybe you got some interesting stuff going on, and you're Nadir Servant, you're Called by the Grave. You can use so many to get him out, and being able to get those recycled back is great, getting him out on the board. But again, a great card, and we'll get into that more as we jump into some duels here. But here's your Skull Guardian, and this is your main boss monster. It's gonna reach a retrain of the old Skull Guardian, and from the name itself, it protects you from any cards or effects, as it has an ability to negate and destroy them once per turn, so long as you have low the prayers of the Voiceless Voice on the board. So you got to get low, and then you get big with your Skull Guardian here. So super awesome combination. Here's your prayer of the Voiceless Voice. 2 to 3 copies. I'm running 2. We'll see how that works. We'll see if we need 3, but right now we do 2, and that's going to be your ritual to bring out your soon here we'll have the Saphira Ritual Dragon in the TCG, and your Skull Guardian. You can bring out your Odd Eyes. So this works for your whole build, but especially that combination with the Saphira, discarding it to the graveyard or sending it to the graveyard, whichever. Discard the Saphira, send it to the graveyard, etc. So one of your arguably most important cards here is your Barrier of the Voiceless Voice. You need your barrier to be basically untouchable. So fits in the theme. Its second effect, right? You can use it to net yourself 1 by searching a Voiceless Voice card or Skull Guardian ritual monster. So which you place on there, gives you the defense, and you can also search with it. So that card does play in the draw, but generally by this time you're already set up and you're good to go, and you'll see it. It's better that I show you rather than explaining it to you if you don't already know. But Voiceless Voice is going to be fantastic. So overall, right, the article said, I must say that the new theme for Phantom Nightmare did not disappoint, and I agree. It has almost all the elements of a good deck in OCG and TCG, which has a 1-card combo line, consistency, and isn't a maxi or an Nibiru magnet, right? So these are great. Those are all true and very valid points. The TCD does not have to worry about maxi. I'm thankful for that. But we do have to worry about Nib, and coming off my Monodium deck and moving over to this, I am happy because a lot of I think our summons can end with 4, and you're good to go. And you'll see some of the times that we will end with 1 or 2 on the board, and where it's great. You'll have to see it, but I really wanted to touch on that article first before we jump into some duels, so you understand. But definitely take some time, follow Respect YGO, check out the article for yourself. Okay. All right, so like you're very much aware of, your 1-card combo low is going to summon low. Once summoned, you're going to trigger low's effect to place 1 of your continuous spell or trap cards on the board. Now again, remember I said earlier, not an Ash magnet, but that effect Veiler has Lo's name, but luckily we do have our Serapis, the Ancient and Descendant, and we are going to activate his effect to negate from our hand that card that is targeting our Lo. How dare him. We're going to go ahead and place our voice barrier, the Voiceless Voice, here on the board. And remember what we said, right? It's our search. We're going to search. And what are we going to bring to our hand? Well, you know the combo. Saphira, the Dragon Queen of the Voiceless Voice. From our hand, we're going to discard Saphira, the Queen of the Voiceless Voice, to send our prayer, which is our ritual spell, to the graveyard. We are then going to activate it from the graveyard, the effect, to then... We already have Skull Guardian. If you didn't have Skull Guardian, you would bring Skull Guardian to your hand so that you can ritual summon it. We already have Skull Guardian. I'm going to bring Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon for our recycle. We're going to wait because they're going to try to do a thing or two. Okay. We have our Skull Guardian in hand. We will see that right now we can activate the effect of Saphira to banish herself, to then special summon using just Lo, the effect, separately, right? So Saphira's banished, activating to ritual summon one of our monsters from our hand. And we chose Skull Guardian. Then Lo's ability able to use just Lo as our tribute. So we will activate in Chain Link 1 Lo, which is going to special summon back in the field, and Chain Link 2 our Skull Guardian, which will search our deck, or allow us to get it up from our deck, add one Voiceless Voice monster or ritual monster, warrior, or dragon from our deck to our hand. Okay, so select a card to have. So I mean, we're in pretty good shape. We check the graveyard. We don't have anything to recycle for. Remember, I talked about our Serapis, Dragon Sage's Voiceless Voice. We don't have anything to recycle, so I don't know that he would be super beneficial. But having this negate in the effect of Serapis, the Ancient Ascended, would be beneficial. We are then going to bring our Lo back and drop her off in defense mode. Let's drop Pendulum. It's going to allow us to recycle. Put them in the pendulum zone, and so now we're going to place our. We have this barrier, so generally I would use Dynamondo and do a little combo line there. We don't necessarily need him right now because we do have both of our cards here. So I'm just gonna we can end there, and we will then return. The prayers to our hand and our Odd Eyes back to our hand. So that's our little recycle, and we're not gonna activate anything. So what that effect would look like, if we would have Dynamondo on the board right here. As soon as they draw their card, we would activate Dynamondo's effect to bring back our Skull Guardian. Once doing so, we activate Lo's effect, which will make Lo special summon back onto the board because we have special summon a ritual monster from our recollection, and then place our trap onto the board. But since we have already done that, we are good to go. They're going to activate effect, so we do have our Omni Negate, but I think we're going to let that one go through. I'm not familiar with this deck over there, which I'm not familiar with too many, coming back to the game after so long, but I think that's bait. So we're going to leave that and let that go through. Remember, we do have our Infinite Permanence and our Radiance of the Voiceless Voice, which will allow us to shuffle or recycle, or we can target up to the amount of light ritual monsters, warrior, dragon, on the field and destroy it up to that many. So right now we just have one. So we do have that pop, and we still have our Omni Negate, and we're sitting with an untargetable setup here. So they do activate the Fallen Albaz. I'm gonna let that go through. I think that I think it probably has some graveyard. Oh, I probably should have negated that, huh? Bad example. Bad example. Bad. Okay. Gotta read your cards, huh? We will activate Imperm. They're gonna go in battle phase. They're gonna attack. So I think ideally I would have probably liked to have negated that. That was bad. BM, BM, BM. So, okay. Well, let's see what we can do now that our board has been cleared. I guess I need to refamiliarize myself with this Albaz. Okay, in phase. So our turn. Let's see what we can cook up now that our board has been cleared. I think we're still in good shape, right? Because we have a lot of recovery. And here's what this recovery could look like. Let's go ahead and add Sphere to our hand. We're not going to activate anything. We are going to use our prayer. And we are going to bring out our Odd Eyes using the Seravis as material and attack. Doing so will allow us to bring back out our low from her effect because we did just ritual summon. We were hit with infinite imperm, which is going to negate our row here. Low's effect. We're just going to place another barrier right down here. Boom. Now we are going to drop Saphira off in the graveyard where she likes to be. We're going to send our other prayer to the graveyard. Let that hang out there for now. We are going to activate the effect of our Radiance. Oh, whoops. We'll let that go through. And what we're going to return to the deck, it does look like a Skull Guardian. And let's see, we're going to do our buddy right here. Bring him out. And then we're going to activate Saphira's effect to then special summon using low as our source material, bringing out the Skull Guardian, using his effect to search and add a low to our hand. Remember, we did use low's effect from the graveyard already, but that's okay. We're going to summon low here, and now we have fully recovered. How interesting. Here's what our extra deck does look like, but we don't really need anything to go into right now. SP Little Knight wouldn't do us any good. We don't have any extra deck monsters out here, so we're going to go into our battle phase. We're going to use our Odd Eyes to swing on the Albion. We are also going to attack with our Skull Guardian, doing 41 to their face. And, you know, why not swing with low for a little bit? Get a little 50 damage off of there, a little chip. Leave him at 36.50. Let's go main phase 2 because we are going to put our Called By on the ground, and we're going to call it a day there. Now, are we at the... So in phase, we're going to negate. We're going to negate the Albion. Now we're in their phase. We have our Omni negate right back, and it's phenomenal. We could have used our Called By, but I think we want to save Called By for something else. Sometimes a little bit too reserved in my actions here, as you saw initially. Also, trying to learn all the cards. It's been a long time. Back when I played, we didn't have synchros and pendulums and lions and tigers and bears. So Fenrir, he's a problem. I do want to just get him off the board. There's no need to have Fenrir around. So I did use the second effect to my trap, and I do see that there is now another Finny Fen, which is okay, because we are going to probably use Called By on the Fenrir in the grave to negate the Fenrir that's going to come out on the board when I do negate his banishing ability, because I'm going to probably have to use my negate on this turn as well. So we do have a negate in the form of Odd Eyes Pendulum, Pendlegraph Dragon, or spell negate. And once we do that, it does go into the pendulum zone, then allowing us to recycle at the end of the turn. So it's fun. I really much enjoy this deck. Still learning it. I'm still ironing out the wrinkles, but it's a good time. I don't know that what our opponent has going on here, but okay. So a Mirror Sword Knight. Discard battles, neither can be destroyed. Special summon one monster that mentions Chimera Fusion. I think we are safe to negate that effect. Fenrir is gonna activate his effect to banish our barrier, one of the two, because we are protected, right? Now, I guess the question is, do we save our called by? Because we still have a barrier out on the board. And I think we are going to save our called by because we're still protected. We're still protected here. I don't know if there's a reality where he has one card in hand. He has a Fenrir. I don't know. I mean, is there a reality where he has a way out? Does he have an out to this? This is a spell negate. I did use, yeah, guys, that's it. Let's see if we can get like some Fire Kings or something for a good example. All right. I think by now you know the routine. I think we can even do a Pot of Prosperity, just because I don't know that I really like Pot of Prosperity in this deck. There's a lot of stuff I just don't really like to get rid of. I think that's my issue. My issue is I don't like to get rid of things. Okay. Don't know that we need Trios in hand. That's useless. We can take a prayer. We'll take a prayer. But here we're gonna go one card combo with low summons, right? You remember? We're gonna place our barrier. Place the barrier down. Then we can activate our, not our barrier, our radiance. We're gonna place the radiance, and then we're gonna also place our barrier down since we had it in hand. I'm not gonna change anything. We're gonna activate our barrier, and we are going to add to our hand our Skull Guardian. We are going to discard Saphira, drop a prayer off in the graveyard, activate our effect. This is going to allow us to bring one card to hand, and I think that we can bring our Odd Eyes for our spell negate. Now we are going to again activate and banish Saphira from the grave. And we are going to special summon our Skull Guardian using low as our material. Chainlink 1 low, which is going to, Chainlink 2 our Skull Guardian. Low, select a card to add to, Skull Guardian, select a card to add to our hand. We're going to use the Seravis here just as a material. And then Lowe's can special summon herself back onto the board. Now remember we have another prayer. We're going to activate it. We're going to bring out our Pendulograph Dragon, and drop him off right there. And I think right there we are good. So we could bring out another barrier, which I didn't get to show you what that looked like. So I'm going to show you now. So Dynamundo, your Skull Guardian, and low. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that either. And we're going to end our turn on that. As soon as they draw a card, we're going to activate Dynamundo to special summon one ritual monster from the graveyard. We're going to special summon them. We're going to special summon our Skull Guardian right back, activating low again from the graveyard because the ritual monster was summoned this turn, putting her in defense, activating her effect to place our barrier on the field. We have two barriers. Omni Negate, untargetable, spell negate. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. If the only monster you control is that one dark dragon, you can special summon 2 resident monsters from your hand. You can use the effect of return. You can special summon. I'm gonna read the cards this time. So let's let that roll out. It smells like bait. Remember, we do have a destruction here. Listen, I don't know what this card does, but he looks like he's up to no good. This card's in your hand. You can send one of the monster card, special summon it from the extra deck. You can target one face-up monster you control that has a level. Send one finger tuner from your hand or deck. Increase. Okay, let's let that play out. We're gonna deal with whatever monster they bring out. I'm assuming some Xyz. Should we pop? We're not gonna pop that. We're gonna wait. Let's play it out. As you can see, some All right. There was just I couldn't imagine that there was anything there that that they were gonna be able to get around. Couldn't target. We had the spell negate. We had the omni negate still. We had a pop in the form of our radiance of the voiceless voice. It's fun. Got me. We'll go back to back with some voiceless voice. So we're gonna go second. Let's see what going second looks like. So we have runic. Here's the meta deck. Let's see how we do. I think they heard the voice of Lo and the prayers of the voiceless voice. Hugin would have got hit with imperm for sure, but I think maybe they misplayed. Called it a day, but I mean, I think that you guys get the picture here. I'll bring some more, hopefully some better competitive duels tomorrow. But here's what the deck lists look like. Here's what it looked like. 2 Nibiru. Remember, this is TCG. So 2 Nibiru. Maybe you can run one. I have had a great time just being on the dropping side of the rock, not the receiving side. So 2 Nib, because you remember Nib can be used as material for your ritual summon. So fantastic. Trias Hierarchia. So this combo line looks something like summoning Diviner, and then using Diviner's effect. This card is no summon. You can send 1 fairy monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard. You're going to drop the Trias, our hierarchy. Trias's effect can attribute your Diviner to special summon itself on the board. From there, you're going to use Diviner's second effect to special summon Lo out onto the field. So that's another combo line. Dogmatica Maximus is great in your combo line of bringing out your Shadal. So you're going to banish 1 fusion monster. Generally, you're going to drop a Garura, draw your card, banish it, special summon your Maximus. You and your opponent are going to send 2 monsters from your extra deck to the graveyard, and that's going to look like your App Cologne, and your Herald of your App Cologne and your Persepolis, because you're gonna have a dark monster and your App Cologne to then your fusion summon your El Shaddai Wenda. What Wenda do? Well, we'll get to that in just a minute. So your Saravis is a 1 of 3 Saphira, because you saw the combo line. You're gonna want to discard. Saphira just likes to be in the graveyard, so just put it where she needs to be. Ash Blossom, the hand traps are there. I think you could personally run more hand traps than what I'm running, and preference. It's just preference. Everybody's saying that you need 20 hand traps, so I guess we'll see what that looks like. Your Diviner, we went over that combo. Your Lo, you see what Lo does. You see how Lo get down. That's your 1 card combo here. That's the meat and potatoes of the deck. Saravis, the Ancient Ascended, that's your quick effect. When it's in your hand, you discard it to negate the activation. When your opponent attempts to or activates a card or effect, it's going to target one of your monsters. Additionally, on the board, when you have it on the board, if your opponent goes to special summon a monster, you activate its effect. Quick effect goes to your hand, negate the special summon. I believe it destroys 2. So whoops, did not mean to go 3 here. So yeah, Saravis is fantastic. Skull Guardian, that's That's the guardian of the meat and the potatoes. You saw the Omni Negate, the attack boost to 41, I think it was, and you know they gotta swing into skull if you have your low on the board and your barrier. So, oh, sorry guys, old man's tired. But we're dueling after dark, so sorry. All Nice Pendulum is your spell negate and your recycle. So I think it's a, you know, it's fantastic. I'll leave it in there. Don't take it out. He's one of. He hangs out with the homies. He's a good time. Nadir Servant is part of your small Dogmatica package, allowing you to send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, then add one Dogmatica monster or Fallen Albaz from the deck or graveyard to your hand to recycle your Dogmatica Maximus up there. A great way to Dogmatica Maximus is awesome in clearing out your opponent's extra deck. So one drawback is that you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn. So you got to be cognizant of how you use an Nadir Servant. 3 of, I enjoy it. Pot of Prosperity, I mean, I think you got a little glimpse of it. Like, what did I really gain? I don't know if I really gained anything from it, but I think it could bail you out. And being in a TCG, you can run 3. You can have all the pots you want. So much pot. Two Preparation of Rites. Really, it's only giving you your prayer and either your Seravis or your Skull Guardian. So I believe that's all you can get from it. So I think it's very much good at 2. In 3, I just don't see it being useful at 3. So interesting one that I haven't seen too often, Ultimate Slayer. I think it is a great card with this extra deck because you really almost everything that you're dropping off in the graveyard from an extra deck is helping you out. It's doing something for you, and really I think I can optimize the extra deck even more so than it already is. So we'll see how that goes. But I have 2 Ultimate Slayers in there. Your opponent cannot activate monster effects in response to this card. You're going to go after that Baron. They can't get negated. You're going to go after Baron's homies that are on the board. They can't negate it. They cannot activate a monster effect in response to your Ultimate Slayer. You're going to send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, then target one monster on your opponent's side that he controls with the same card type, Fusion Secret, Exorcism, Pendulum, or Links, and shuffle it into the deck. So you're going to say they have a fusion on the board. This is nasty. You're going to use Ultimate Slayer. You're going to drop off the entity Intis, whatever the fuck that means. Intis out in the graveyard. So you have shuffle this back in the graveyard. Then you have a pop of a fusion monster. And you have a shuffle back of whichever card you choose. Yeah, so you get the point here. It is fantastic. It is fantastic. Send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, then target one monster your opponent controls with the same card type. So you pick that fusion, and I guess hopefully they got 2 on there. But anyway, I think Ultimate Slayer is fun. It's fun. Called by the Grave. You know what I do. If you don't, you're going to target that monster graveyard, you're going to banish it. It's also negated. So your barrier, the Voiceless Voice, we are running this. I think we're supposed to be running this at 3. I think we run this at 3. Yeah, this is 3. This is 3. Whoops. I think that was the issue. I'm just over here pressing buttons. Pretty sure I just broke it. I just broke it. I broke it. Let's go back. Okay. 3. Interesting. I think we were doing just fine with 2. Wow. Yeah, okay. Well, we're gonna be running 42 cards right now. We're gonna see how that goes. I'm that guy that always likes to run 41 just to do it. Anyway, our 2 prayers, the Voiceless Voice, and then we have our 3 imperms, part of our hand trap combo. I think I'm running less hand traps than most folks. But I really like the goes in match in this deck. The goes in match really just sets us up for success if they're I guess, you know, maybe it doesn't help you too much against Fire Kings. Maybe it doesn't help too much. What else we have this meta? Rescue Ace or any of our fire nemesis. Maybe it doesn't help too much, but I think outside of that, it's great. You can side it out if you're going to be against Fire Kings, if they're all going to be, fire. But it's in quite a few matches it has been very successful. I think it could still help against Fire Kings, right? So if they have Diabell Star, she's dark, right? That's locked in. You're locked in right there. Or fire, you can't use your Sinful Spoils package. I don't know. Maybe helps. I do need to get some more Fire King matches done in against this build. So more to come, I guess. Radiance of the Voiceless Voice. You definitely saw what that does. It's our shuffle and it's our target pop, or it's a pop of their monster by utilizing it, sending it to the graveyard. I would like to have a cleaner way to recycle it, and I do think we get that in Legacy Destruction with the other Saphira card. So I'm just really excited to play this in a TCG. You're in your Shadal Schism. So what does that look like? Remember we talked about it earlier. We send 2 cards with Maximus, which is our App Cologne and our Bucephalus. And then with App Cologne, we're going to add a card to our hand. We're going to add the Shadal Schism. And at the end of the turn, we are going to place the Shadal Schism, and then as soon as we get the opportunity during the main phase, during their main phase, we're going to activate our card, fusioning summoning our Winda, using and banishing Bucephalus and our App Cologne. Winda, what does Winda do? Well, when Winda is on the field, each player can only special summon monsters once per turn. So what a great board looks like is you have your Skull Guardian, you have Low, you have your Barrier. If you did the Dynamundo combo that I showed you, then you have your Radiance of the Voiceless Voice on the board as well, and then you have your Schism, which activated, and Winda is on the board. They can only special summon one time. Now, well, Winda's got 2200 attack, only 100 defense. They can get over Winda pretty easily, but no, they can't, because remember, they have to swing on the Skull Guardian, which will be sitting at 4100, unless they're able to take out our Barrier, get past our Omni Negate, get past maybe the Odd Eyes we got on board, the Seravis. It just goes on and on. It's too fantastic, but that's the Schism. I think it's great. Hopefully I can bring a video on that for you tomorrow. But App Cologne, you saw that. The Garura, we're going to send it to the graveyard. We're going to draw a card from it. Window, you saw what that do. The Intis is our pop. We're going to send it to the graveyard. When it's sent to the graveyard, you can target one card on the field, destroy it. So that's not just monster. We can target back row with this lady as well. She's out here just destroying stuff. Enigmaster Packbit comes out as well in Phantom Nightmare. Wanted to give it a test. I think we could do something interesting here. And I don't know if it's already been done, but I feel like I created it. Dad the OG. Just if you see it, just say, oh, that's the Dad the OG combo. But anyway, if this card is synchro summoned or sent to the graveyard, you can target one monster in your graveyard or face-up monster on your opponent's that your opponent controls. Discard one card, and if you do, place that monster in its owner's spell or trap zone as a face-up continuous trap. And during either player's turn, if this card is a continuous trap, you can special summon one monster card from your spell or trap zone, and you can only use this once per turn. So what does that look like, right? So if we send it, if we send a homie to the graveyard when we already have Low in the graveyard, and we aren't able to ritual summon a monster to bring her back out, well, we can activate his effect, put her in the spell or trap card zone, and then special summon Low back out onto the field. And then we know that if this card is normal special summon, you can put a Barrier or a Radiance on the board. So I think that's a good combo that we have there. I think I'm on something here with Enigmaster Pack bit, and I will see if I can get a video utilizing this combo at the very least. I think that, and I also would like to know if Packbit puts Low in the spell or trap card zone. You guys tell me. In the spell or trap card zone, Low's still on the board, right? So we still get that effect. We get Low in the back. Low's in the back. Low's getting Low in the back row. and we can still use Low's ability as to support Skull Guardian and have our Omni negate. I don't know. I think we're onto some things protecting Low from, you know, being the monster zone, but she is susceptible to back removal at that point. But anyway, just some brainstorming there. I think it's a combo that I do have. I want to show you guys that later on. So Side Frame Overload Omega. So what do we do here? Once per turn during the main phase, the quick effect, you can banish both this face-up card on the field and one random card. We don't really use any of that, right? So here's the part we do use. Once per turn during your opponent's standby phase, you can target one banished card, return it to the graveyard, etc. So sorry. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one other card in your graveyard. Shuffle both that card and this card from the graveyard into the deck. So remember earlier I said I wish we had some more ability to recycle our trap card. Well, this is what Side Frame Overlord, Side Frame Lord Omega. This is what he does. That's why he's in there. He's utilized so we can get our trap card back. And our one Pegasus at Ignister. What does he do? Well, pretty similar things. Like you'll see a pattern here. It's sending these cards to the graveyard to get an effect. So while this card is in the graveyard, you can banish this card, then target one card your opponent controls, shuffle it into the deck. So I think you know that combo. But that's so we can't activate that unless another card we control or cards is destroyed by battle or opponent's card effect. So I mean that's. Once we get down there, once you know the barrier's off the field, we're gonna lose a card, right? It generally is gonna be low most of the time, so we're gonna be able to use that. You know, Baron Defleur is our once while on the board Omni negate and pop on our own turn. You know, the Herald allows us to get a ritual monster or spell. Typhon is our special summon. If they special summon two or more monsters, we can special summon Typhon. The turn before this turn, we can special summon Typhon by sacrificing the monster with the highest attack. And then I think Typhon also shuffles their. We could target a monster that they control and shuffle it into the deck. Once per turn, you can detach one material, return a monster from the field to the hand. So. That's Typhon. Cephalus is there just for that combo. Cephalus is just there for that combo line. Let's see. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send one Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. So that's the Garura. I think we do need to run two Garura. I think that's what we need. We need two Garura in here for Cephalus. Extra to the graveyard. Yeah, let's man, I'm telling you, like, I have not used this thing at all, but there's been times where I didn't want I needed a Link one. I don't know, we'll see. I want two Garura, but the extra deck is a little tight here. The Dynamundo is just for that combo line where you're able to then special summon the Skull Guardian on your opponent's draw phase, special activating Low's effect, special summon Low back onto the board, and then allowing Low to place another one of the continuous spell or trap cards onto the board. A quick way to get your barrier and your radiance on at the same time. SP Little Knight, you know what she do? She banish if used if an extra deck monster is used in that link to bring her out on your opponent's side. When they activate a card effect, right? You can quick effect and banish one card you control, one card they control, etc. Enema steals their monster, whatever it points to. So little cheeky activity sometimes, but again, like, I haven't used that, so he might have to come out. The extra deck, we don't use it here very much in the simulator. I do want to see what this looks like with the extra deck, being able to side out some cards, side in, etc. But 3 draw, 3 cosmic, 1 cross out that probably can come out at this point in time. 3 barrier. I mean, I think it would DD. I think DD ground. Is that what it's called? I'll have to circle back with that. Because there is another trap, and I thought I could have sworn it was DD ground. I am apparently super mistaken here. I'll have to circle back with you because it's a DD something, but I think that might be taking the place of the barrier. Can't remember what it does, but I know I ordered it from TCG Player. Anyway, I'll get back to you guys on that one. But barriers here for now. 3 evenly going second, and Solemn Strike could be. I think Solemn Strike's probably best going first. So maybe taking out, for me, maybe a Nibiru, Sabat Nib for Solemn Strike. I don't really know. I really like how the deck it is right now. There's just so much room for activity, and it's great. But that's really all I got, guys. That's it. Again, check out that article by Respect YGO. It's really good about this archetype. I had fun. There's also another video that they posted, a really good in-depth breakdown and combo guide on this archetype and on this deck. It's showing you in depth. Really watch it. It's in depth on each combo. Step by step, not just plain like how we went through it, but it's really good. Check it out. And if you OGs like what you see, man, like, subscribe, help a brother out, and I will keep bringing some videos to you. And also, just to let you know, I'm hoping to bring some locals gameplay your guys' way for the Voiceless Voice. So stand by for that. I'm trying to get some good locals play. I don't think I'm not gonna have the cards ready for the regional we have here coming up. I believe it's on the 10th. I really was hoping I was going to. If I do get the cards in on time, I promise I will get out there and show you what live action, get it out there, show Voiceless Voice in action. But I don't think it's gonna, again, I don't think it's gonna come in time. But I'm gonna try to get, once the cards do come in, I'm gonna get some locals gameplay on the TCG side of things, show you guys what is working with, and yeah, we'll really just have fun with this. And let me know what else you guys want to see played here. Maybe we have goblins coming in and Phantom Nightmare and some more fire support. So yeah, anything you guys want to see play, I'm down to experiment with it. Again, I'm coming back off a 20-year hiatus, and like when I played last, Yada and Chaos Dragon, Luster Soldier, Envoy, and their beginning, whatever, that was beat down. That was the jam. So it's been a big big uphill learning curve with these synchro XZs, links, pendulums, bro. I still don't think I really understand what the pendulum summon does, but seems like a lot of people don't. But Dad the OG is done rambling. I'm gonna take my old butt to bed. And again, if you're an OG or a new G, you like what you see, go ahead and hit the like, subscribe button. I'll be happy. I appreciate it. I'm out.